Thanks for the intro, Connor. For those of you I haven't met, I'm Braden Lambros, a partner at the firm based here in Columbus. You just heard a few stories about our model at work and the critical role our network plays in generating meaningful outcomes. We're at a major milestone moment where the use of AI is critical in order for the U.S. to execute on reindustrialization taking place right here in America. For decades, Made in America seemed like a fading trend until COVID put U.S. manufacturing back in the spotlight. The shift has been striking. In 2023, U.S. reshoring announcements totaled over $900 billion. By the end of last year, that figure had surged to $1.7 trillion. There's been no shortage of major companies making announcements about reshoring, pledging to bring more jobs and more investment back here right in the U.S. Notable ones include Apple, Taiwan Semiconductor, X's Stargate program, Eli Lilly, Johnson & Johnson, just to name a few. And with reshoring comes major investment in the U.S. manufacturing infrastructure. Since 2021, total construction spending for manufacturing is up 3 times to over $220 billion. Most dollars are going into new greenfield projects with prominence in semiconductors, batteries, electrical equipment, chemical manufacturing, transportation equipment like autos and EVs, aerospace, defense, and more. So it's clear, reindustrialization is happening in a big way. Yet, we have one major issue: labor. The U.S. is facing a chronic shortage of labor right here at home. U.S. manufacturers will need to hire nearly 3.8 million new people between now and 2033. Roughly 1 million of those are net new jobs, and 2.8 million are backfills. Without any major changes, a recent Deloitte study projected that more than 50% of these will go unfilled. Similar labor issues exist for construction and the trades as well, with majority being the need to replace those that are aging out and retiring. So what do? AI investment is critical. AI and technology is the only scalable way to increase the output per person in the workforce and make it easier to bring those skills online. The global AI market is following suit and is projected to grow more than 25 times over the next decade, from $189 billion to nearly $5 trillion by 2033. This is more than just software. It'll reshape infrastructure, labor, and production. There's no doubt there's real investment that's happening here, but there's also a lot of fluff. I'll share how we're looking to separate that hype from the real. We continue to hold a narrow, practical, thoughtful focus on the industries that we know. This isn't new to us. We've been investing ahead of this momentum for the last decade and behind it for the next decade to come. We are investing behind 3 key themes. Build. Think of technologies that enable more effective construction projects, upstream to pre-construction, to downstream and active management, like you heard from Firmus and Parkade. Make. Think of products that enable higher throughput and quality or reduce waste and cost. Endeavor automating order intake on systems or labor up, reducing time and cost of hiring skilled labor. And finally, the third, move. Technologies that help move goods more efficiently with fewer delays, less working capital, or in the case of Genlogs, reducing fraud, waste, and abuse, which constructs more than $35 billion a year in the US. We aren't trying to compete with the hyperscalers like OpenAI and ChatGPT. We only back founders focused on real problems that our network of operators have. For example, Fund 2 portfolio companies ParSpec and Firmus built their own LLMs, trained on material submittals, CAD files, information that's not readily available to the public, and no public model can replicate. Oftentimes that data is locked away in filing cabinets. But investing in the AGI brings a new dynamic. AI makes building faster and easier. Technical moats are weaker. What matters most now is speed to market and customer acquisition. That plays directly to our strength, connecting startups to real customers, and our LP network is more valuable now than it's ever been. Strategics want these companies, and M&A continues to be the dominant exit path for AI companies, with acquisitions up nearly 3 times from 2020 and growing, with large strategics buying this capability to stay ahead of the curve rather than developing it themselves. Heartland's uniquely positioned to capitalize now. Reshoring's happening in a big way. Labor shortages need to be addressed. AI adoption is happening at scale in a really meaningful way. We remain hyper-focused on the industries that you've heard about today and in the industrials broadly. And that allows us to invest in assets that are desirable for the strategics looking to buy. We will own and continue to invest in growing our network in both new and existing markets. We've been effective in growing our network of businesses and business owners more than 10 times since 2019, growing into markets like Milwaukee, Louisville, now Cleveland, and others over the next 5 years. We've also been leveraging AI internally to activate and execute our model at scale, and we'll continue to do so to maintain an unfair advantage as we grow.